Welcome to the world of warships with Captain Yamo, and I am your host, self-proclaimed Captain Yamo. Just as the title proclaims, Minekaze means love. This is a fantastic destroyer. It's got a 42 second reload time on its torpedoes. It's got 3 of them. They fire 2 torpedoes each. It's got 4 turrets. They're not great, but they're pretty good compared to most of the other Japanese destroyers. So we spot a wild Clemson there and almost run into a friendly. Poor driving on my part not to pay attention to him. And I held this last shot because I just wanted to see where this guy was going to go. You know, I wanted to see if he was going to make it. And I would have hit him, but he was already dead. This thing is fast. It can turn. It's got it all. It's not visible until it's within about 6 kilometers. It's actually, I think, 5.9 kilometers when it becomes visible. And really, the Minekaze is an incredible ship. Pull a little Juan Valdez maneuver here. You'll see. I take a hit here. Try and launch a couple torps at that Kuma, I think it is. Yep, and there it is.
Goodbye, my love.
The only thing I had going for me, the only reason I think I survived here is that guy had already fired his torpedoes off at my buddy. So let's try and predict where he's going to go, and thank goodness thing can fire torpedo after torpedo after torpedo. Alright, so one guy down. Let's get back in there. That Kuma out there is the only member of the enemy team who saw me pull that bonehead maneuver, so I want to go make sure we put him down too. Fortunately, my teammates have my back here, and they hide my shame by sinking my enemy. And look, I mean, what a nice job. And of course, that was fired by the other Minekaze. It was a real shame by this point, when I'd been playing the game, that the sound had kind of been acting up, so you're not hearing all the sounds. There should have been some wonderful sounds of torpedoes hitting the sides of big ships. So after dealing with that cruiser there, you know, I see that battleship over here on the other side of this island here, so I started to hide myself in this island and wanted to get into it here. I was hoping I can pop out within about, you know, 4 or 5 kilometers of him, because from that range, these little torpedoes are really fast, and they don't give them a lot of opportunity to dodge that close. But then there comes another destroyer. Narrowly avoid being rammed, fire off a bunch of torpedoes. And right here, my son thought I was going to get myself killed by this torpedo, but I was doing a little dancing. I didn't want to be trapped in between those torpedoes. You can see me struggling to get my guns around. Just these Japanese destroyers, you know, their guns are very, very slow. And so I see this enemy Phoenix, and it looks to me like he's probably run aground. I figure he's stuck there, he can't move, he's a sitting duck. So instead of taking the long-range speculative shot that probably wouldn't hit anything, I figure I'll just take this guy out and get into it. He can't shoot at me until the very last second, so haha, right? Line it up. Okay, well, I got another one in 9 seconds, right? Oh, nope. And by the time I do have it, I can't fire at him. So I set him on fire with my guns. He takes out my propellers and my rear guns. Actually, I'm sorry, it's my number 1 guns. And so I'm losing speed in the water. Yeah, he gave me what I deserve for missing those torpedoes, you know, I can't blame him. So I see this enemy Congo coming, and he probably can't see me, and so I'm just waiting for myself to get going again, and here we go. We finally repair our rudder and get back underway. And I fire off one long-range shot at him. I'm saving some more for my little Phoenix buddy over here. I try to feather it front and back, so if he scoots forward or backwards, he's still getting hit, and I got stuff to worry about. I gotta go deal with this big old Miyogi over here. So there goes the Phoenix. Nice hit on the Miyogi. Now, I wanted to take that shot, but I thought he might run aground, and he did. And so now I'm going to try and spread some torpedoes. Now, I figured the 4 torpedoes would do it. And I got it right. A quick look at the score there, and you'll see that we're tied up here. Both teams still have, you know, we're basically equals. Alright, so I see this Congo in between these islands, and so what I want to do right now is I just want to try and pepper some shots in. You know, he's within 6.5 kilometers, so I definitely have the range for him, and maybe they hit, maybe they don't. I fire off a couple of really tight spreads on him, and I know that once I get in between these islands, if he keeps going straight ahead, I'll be able to fire again at him. And so I slow down in between these 2 islands, and I just wait. You'll see the friendlies also fired some torpedoes on him. We got a torpedo bomber. And so now he has no more room. He's got no more room to dodge away from torpedoes. So I fire off what I can and start scooting. And look, he's catching it from all sides, front, back, side to side. There you go. And And, you know, at least 2 or 3 of the other 4 would have hit as well. So he was dead in the water. But we're still tied. We have 100 points on them, and we have 2 of the flags, so, you know, we can cap our way out. But definitely one aspect of my gameplay that I need to work on is how aggressive I am. Now, I'm not sure whose fault this really is. I mean, I try and turn away from him. I thought he would turn a little bit away. And so I let us straighten out, and then I try and turn just a hair. But when he dodged, he kind of took us both out there. I felt bad for it, but it happens. So down goes our wacky Alpha after just getting into a collision with me. But we wing a nice shot into this guy. Watch this. Here it comes. I love the way these things cook up the water. So at this point in the game, I'm looking at it. I see we're ahead in points, but then I also notice that it's just the carrier and I figure, well, I better go cap C and then try and catch him. Depending on the carrier, most of them have speeds that are within a few knots of the Minekaze. So if he takes off running, I'm probably not going to catch him. And tally-ho, there he is.
Squirrel.
Now, this isn't necessarily the best move I make. Definitely, it's a bit aggressive. He has secondary guns on there, and if they get lucky, he could take me out. Could set me on fire or something. But I also figure with him that close, if he started launching aircraft at me, that I'd be in trouble myself. So, overly aggressive, yes, but what are you going to do? It's a war game, you know, I want to fight. Now get into a nice rhythm here where you'll see I'll fire some torpedoes, and then I'll fire the guns. And then I'll fire some more torpedoes and fire the guns. And in this manner, as they start to dodge, I get to take more and more accurate shots on them as I get closer, as well as peppering them with shots. There you go, one hit. Cause them flooding. You know, with the slow nature of the Japanese guns, this allows me to... It's a good rhythm, you know, it's a good flow.
Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Alright, there you go, one more hits. Okay, now it's a race to kill him before we run out of time. We could have easily lost. But we didn't. So there you go, 6 kills. Minekaze means love. It probably means divine ridge line or mountain top or something. But 29 hits with the guns, 12 hits with the torps, 5 crits, 6 destroyed, 2 set on fire, 8 floods, 1 Citadel hit, captured a base, assisted in a base capture, and defended the base twice. That's a big mouthful. Got 2,538 XP, which is a excellent outcome. And, you know, of course, after a match like this, you know, you got all that adrenaline running through you. You're just racing. You're having a great time. A little bit of a problem there with the Iwaki Alpha, but, you know, I hope he forgives me. Did a little damage to him. But there you go. 6 kills. I'd like to thank you for watching. This is your host, Captain Yamo, signing out.